Am I the a-hole for being unwilling to raise my soon-to-be ex-wife's youngest child? My STB ex-wife and I have a complicated history together. We were friends for years. Then we started something casual, but the understanding was neither of us would have sex with anyone else. And if we wanted to, we would discuss it. When she got pregnant, we entered into a more serious relationship and got married. I love our son, and I do my best to be a good dad to him. She and I had some difficulties over the years. We didn't get married for the best reasons, but we were mostly happy. When I found out she was pregnant again, I had some mixed emotions, but ultimately came around. Then I learned she had cheated on me and the baby might not be mine. We did a DNA test while she was still pregnant, and the child wasn't mine, and the biofather was a friend of hers. I left our marriage and filed for divorce. When her youngest was born, I went to court to establish officially that I was not the father. STBX wanted me to raise her youngest child with our son. She was upset that our marriage ended over her having a child with someone else. She told me it wasn't even the cheating that made me leave her. But the baby and she said that wasn't fair, that her child didn't deserve to grow up without a dad because I care so much about DNA, which is when she revealed that she had slept with someone else around the time she conceived our son, and he might not be mine. That was a crushing blow for me. She accused me of wanting to dump him when I took a DNA test. My son is mine, but all the lies and the crap has made me hate her. She still wants me to be involved in her younger child's life and has been fighting against me only being our son's dad. She tried to make the court keep me on her younger child's birth certificate, but I was removed. She tried to insist that I needed shared custody of both kids or no custody of our son. The courts didn't agree. They have us on 50-50 custody for our son. That's temporary until the divorce is final. But this whole thing has been stressful as fuck. She's doing everything she can to delay our divorce, and she wants me to call the whole thing off. I'm getting a lot of shit for denying her younger child. She has family members confronting me about it, and I always tell them to get the father to step up or find someone in the family to be there for her younger kid. I had a friend ask me why I won't raise both kids, that I'd have stayed my son's dad even if he wasn't mine. I told them I would, but I love my son and couldn't hurt him by walking away after 7 years of being his dad, or stop loving him like that. But I admitted it would have killed me to be a big enough man to help him know about his biofather and have a relationship if that was wanted in future years. I said I wasn't selfless enough to want that, but I'd have needed to. And I said I wasn't signing up for that, knowing the truth ahead of time. My friend said it was a lame reason to not let the kids grow up as siblings kept together all the time. That family is more than blood, and when the actual father doesn't want to know, it seems petty to let the child grow up without one. Some of that is what STBX's family have said too. Other people are supporting me 100%. I know I don't want to do it, and I would be resentful if I did try to raise her other child. But am I the asshole for not being willing to? Not the a-hole. You're not refusing to raise your child. You're refusing to raise the child she had from an affair. The younger child has a living biological father. That is where responsibility should lie. It's not petty or selfish to say you won't raise a child conceived through betrayal, especially when you know you'd resent it and it would damage everyone involved. People calling this family over blood aren't the ones being asked to sacrifice their mental health, wallet, and future. You're allowed to have boundaries. The court agrees with you, and that's what matters. Don't let her use guilt and outside pressure to manipulate you. You didn't create this situation. She and the actual father did. It's not your job to clean it up. Comments, not the a-hole. This woman has made a shit show of her life. You and your son don't deserve to be part of the show. Honestly, if it were me, I'd end all contact that doesn't involve co-parenting your shared son. I understand now there are co-parenting apps to keep scheduling clear. OP, you need a break from this horrible situation your STBX has put you through. Get yourself and your son on the side of normal as you try to extract yourself for this dysfunctional situation. Try to wrap your head around the fact you absolutely did nothing wrong here, so you can rebuild a nice, fresh, and stable life for you and your son. This situation sucks, and I don't judge you for any decision you make. But as the older kid in this situation, the greatest gift my dad ever gave me was to be active and present in my siblings' life, even though he wasn't their biological dad. Parents are dead and gone, and my sibling is how I got through it all. We wouldn't have this closeness if we only spent part of the time together, and Dad unequivocally treated us as equals. Terrible situation for all involved. I am with you on this one. At some point, you may be able to forgive and then accept this child, but certainly at the present time, the intensity of your emotions would not be a God idea for you or the child. Good luck for the future. If you were driving your child to school and her youngest needed a ride to the same school, same time, would you also drive the younger child? I guess I'm trying to figure out how hands-off you need to be before I can decide. There is no way you should take any responsibility for actually raising a child that isn't yours. Kids are a lot of work. It's not worth the resentment, and I agree that the guy who made the baby needs to father the baby. In reading this, I wonder what the primary motivation was for the whole relationship. Commitment doesn't seem to be one of them, which messes up the lives of both kids. Do take both kids once or twice a year if you can work that out, for the sake of your son. Story 2. We've been together 8 years, married for 3. Until recently, I truly believed we were solid. He was my partner, my best friend, the person I wanted beside me for everything. If I couldn't go with him somewhere, he often wouldn't go at all. That kind of closeness used to make me feel safe. Now it just makes what I did feel even more unforgivable. I cheated with a colleague from work. There's no justification for it. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a misunderstanding. I never told him the full scope of it. Part of him wants to leave and never see me again. Another part wants to pretend this never happened. I can see him switching between those two modes sometimes within the same hour. I've spent entire days talking and crying, and I'm clear in that I want to try to fix this. He's told me he can't stop imagining me with the other man. I see the pain and disgust on his face when those thoughts hit him. He doesn't want affection right now. No kisses, no closeness. And I respect that. He asked me to get full STD/HIV testing, which I did and will do again if needed. I understand why he needs that reassurance. I understand that my body doesn't feel safe to him anymore. What breaks me is that sometimes things feel good again, but only when we don't talk about it, when we pretend it didn't happen, when I'm attentive, loving, present, and he doesn't ask questions. I can tell that avoidance is the only thing giving him temporary relief, and I hate that I'm benefiting from silence when I'm the one who created the damage. Lately, he's been in a really dark place, crying multiple times a day, talking about starting therapy again, because he can't live like this. He says he still has PTSD from everything, and hearing that is like being punched in the chest because I'm the source of it. I don't know how to help without making it about my guilt. I don't know how to be supportive without quietly hoping he'll move on so I can feel less awful. And I hate that thought when it comes up. I don't want to rug sweep this. I also don't know how much pain he's supposed to endure just to stay with me. How do you support a betrayed partner who is clearly traumatized by you without pressuring them to heal? How do you live with the fact that even if you do everything right from here on out, you may still lose them?